National debt ballooning to another record high here, 12.89 trillion pesos. Should we be worried? Are we growing fast enough, so much so that we actually have enough in our arsenal to repay debt while also providing social services?
Yeah, actually, the concern is if we are growing fast enough, to repay our debts. And for the first half of the year, actually, we are really on track on meeting our growth target for the year of between 6.5 to 7.5%. So we are on our way to recovery. So what is really important is one, to keep the economy growing, and then to steer back the economy on a high growth path.
Usec, let's talk about the poverty levels. Your government target right now is 9% by 2028. How realistic is that? How much of an uphill climb is this, especially on the back of recovery from the pandemic? How much pushback did we have from the previous targets?
Yes, thank you for the question. Between 2015 and 2018, we were able to bring down poverty incidence from 23.7 to 16.7. So that's about 7 percentage points. Yeah, 6 percentage points. And actually, that's about 6 million more Filipinos that were taken out of poverty. Now, between 2018 and 2021, so the year of the pandemic, we saw 2.3 million more Filipinos who became poor, meaning of those 6 million who graduated out of poverty, so there were 2.3 million actually who slid back to poverty. So for us, and we also looked at the different trends across the regions, where we saw that in certain regions where there was really economic activity and there was really programs to assist the poor, the poverty actually went down. So it's still the same. It's still the same strategy. Make sure that the economic activity really is very vibrant, and that the poor are able to participate in this economic activity. And so between 2021 and 2028, so that's a period of 7 years, we're targeting a 9 percentage point reduction. So we think that this is very doable, provided that we remain on track in terms of economic recovery, in terms of accelerating that growth path, in terms of addressing the scarring due to COVID-19.
Ma'am, apart from hopefully we're out of the pandemic, but now the problem is inflation and the soaring prices eating into consumers' pockets, not just domestically but also offshore. So the remittances might also take a hit in terms of consumption. How can we manage expectations in terms of people getting out of poverty in the short term while inflation is very high?
It's in the short term. It really has to be a mix of government assistance, especially to the most vulnerable, and we're looking at ensuring food security for the most vulnerable, and that is why. In terms of programming, we have actually for the year, we have allotted funds for the farmers, the fisher folks, and also for yung ating mga poor na kababayans, may assistance for them. Now, in terms of the remittances, our experience has been that this is kind of counter-cyclical, actually. So, as you know, the demand for our OFWs has remained very robust, and so we think that is something that will again tide us through this coming months. But hopefully, very, very soon we can see domestic demand really picking up, and of course more importantly, the domestic production really becoming very more productive.
Usec, on the topic of economic growth, when do you expect the growth numbers to be real growth? So not because of low base year effects, and net of inflation, when can you say, or at what point can you say that we are actually experiencing growth levels, or at least return to high growth levels as pre-pandemic?
Actually, if you look at the pre-COVID levels, our performance now versus the pre-COVID levels, for many sectors, we are already either above that or nearing that. There's just some sectors that have remained below pre-pandemic. So like your transport, your accommodation, your recreation, the other services, even education and healthcare. So if we see these sectors already bouncing to their pre-COVID levels, then that's when we can say that we're back to where we were. But even that, we think we should be targeting for a faster growth rate, because we need to catch up on those lost growth opportunities, and therefore actually next year will be a very crucial year for us. It's really about addressing this carrying, catching up.